The delicate process of restoring ancient manuscripts. These technicians at the Iraq National Museum reconnect the loose pages of books that date back hundreds of years. But the head of the department says his team lacks the tools needed for more advanced maintenance.
We
hope to get a lab that can support complicated and difficult procedures. In some instances, we postpone maintenance because we don't have specialized experienced materials or equipment to do our work.
There are more than 60,000 manuscripts stored in Iraq's National Museum, spanning literary, religious, and scientific texts, making this one of the most extensive and important collections about the Arab world. And we're about to get rare access to the main vault. Mona NAJI ABBAS is in charge of these treasures. She shows us one of the oldest, dating back to 1229. It's one of the few books that survived the Mongol invasion of Baghdad in the late 13th century, which saw the destruction of the vast libraries built up by the then ruling dynasty, the Abbasids.
This manuscript needs professional maintenance. It represents an important period for us, Baghdad during the Abbasid time.
The museum's manuscript collection was largely spared in the widespread looting that followed the 2003 US-led invasion of Iraq, mainly because it was moved to a different location. Indeed, throughout the decades, many of Iraq's ancient artifacts have ended up in museums around the world, arguably for safekeeping. But Mona believes Iraq is now ready to take care of its own heritage.
We prefer to provide the environment to save our manuscripts inside the country. We realize these manuscripts constitute soft power.
Utilizing this soft power will require funding for modernization. The index is maintained manually, and only a fraction of the texts have been digitalized. Researchers can't access the museum's vault to see the ancient texts, but must instead visit the nearby manuscript house. Here they laboriously search for available titles, hand-scribbled on index cards.
There's no electronic index. When a researcher comes here with a manuscript title, they'll ask him to search in these boxes or in the index book, and these indices don't contain all the manuscripts.
It can then take weeks before they receive copies of the text, which they must pay for. But museum employees complain little of that money is invested back into the maintenance of the manuscripts to preserve Iraq's rich heritage. Simona, Foltyn, Al Jazeera, Baghdad.